Hello, my dear friends. Here we are for another biblical study. How good it is to spend this time in God's presence. In today's study, we will learn from King Asa about the danger of relying only on our own strength. Sometimes worldly solutions distract us from the Creator's constant care. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell to never miss our daily messages. And now, let us begin the study. 2 Chronicles chapter 16 verse 12. In the 39th year of his reign, Asa was afflicted with a disease in his feet. Though his disease was severe, even in his illness he did not seek the Lord, but only the physicians. The story of King Asa is one of the most profound lessons on the constancy of our faith over the years. He took the throne of Judah during a period of great idolatry and had the courage to carry out a complete spiritual reform, removing false altars and leading the people back to the path of the Lord. At the beginning of his journey, Asa demonstrated an admirable dependence. When faced with a numerically superior army, his first reaction was to cry out for divine help, recognizing that victory did not belong to the soldiers, but to the sovereign will of the Creator. Because of this humble stance, the kingdom enjoyed decades of peace and prosperity. However, the passage of time and the accumulation of achievements brought a silent challenge to Asa's heart. When a new threat arose from Israel, he was no longer that young man who knelt in search of guidance. Instead of consulting the Lord, Asa decided to use the temple treasury to buy an alliance with the king of Syria. He exchanged God's invisible and constant help for a visible and temporary political agreement. Although he achieved immediate relief, this decision revealed a soul that was beginning to trust more in gold and human strategy than in the promise that had sustained him in the past, showing a spiritual drift. The situation worsened when the prophet Hanani rebuked him, reminding him that the eyes of the Lord look for those who are entirely faithful to him. Instead of repenting, Asa reacted with anger, imprisoning the messenger and becoming increasingly closed in his own certainties. In the 39th year of his reign, a severe disease afflicted his feet. The tragedy was not that he sought the physicians of the time, but the fact that he sought only them, completely excluding the Creator from his healing process. He allowed human science to become his only refuge, forgetting the source of all life and the one who sustains our very breath. This trajectory of King Asa invites us to a very practical and necessary reflection for our current days. Often, we start our projects or face our first difficulties with much prayer and surrender, but as we gain experience or resources, we fall into the trap of self-sufficiency. We begin to believe that our network of contacts, our bank account, or our degrees are enough to guarantee tomorrow. The danger is not in using the tools the world offers, but in letting them occupy the central place that belongs only to God. We must never let our skills overshadow our need for the divine presence in our daily lives. True spiritual maturity consists in maintaining the same humility of the first day, even when we already have the resources to solve problems on our own. When pain arises or plans fail, our first inclination should be a dialogue with the Father rather than a desperate search for external solutions that ignore divine will. We must be careful so that success does not harden our spiritual sensitivity, making us deaf to the warnings that come to protect us from a fall. The restoration we seek always begins within us, in the decision to place the Lord above any earthly resource or human wisdom. It is wonderful to know that God desires to participate in all the details of our story, from grand decisions to the care of our physical health. Do not allow pride or habit to distance you from the presence that brought you this far. May we finish our journey with the same light and dependence with which we began, recognizing that every breath is a gift and every solution is a manifestation of divine mercy. May your trust be anchored in something much greater than what human hands can reach or build, Let us remember that our strength comes from a constant relationship with the divine. Now I would like to invite you to take a deep breath and quiet your heart. Let us lift our thoughts and surrender our anxieties, seeking the guidance that only from above can be given. Join me now in this moment of unity and faith through prayer. Dear God, Father of love and infinite goodness, today we lift our thoughts to you with humble hearts, thirsting for your presence. We recognize that often in the rush of our days and in the search for immediate solutions, we end up placing our trust in human hands, forgetting that our lives and our every breath belong entirely to you. We ask for forgiveness, Lord, for the times when pride or self-sufficiency spoke louder than our faith. And today we voluntarily choose to renew our total dependence on your grace and your love that sustains us in every step we take. Look, Father, upon every brother and every sister who now joins me in this prayer. Many are facing challenges that seem greater than their strength, and perhaps weariness has caused them to stop looking upward. We ask that your Spirit bring spiritual renewal, reminding us that while we can and should use the resources the world offers, such as medicine and human wisdom, we must never allow these means to take the central place that belongs only to you. May our first reaction in the face of pain, doubt, or need always be to bow our knees and seek your counsel, finding in you the secure refuge and the peace that surpasses all understanding. Uphold us, Lord, so that our walk may be marked by the same faith and simplicity we had at the beginning of our journey with you. Do not allow success, achievements, or the accumulation of knowledge to harden our hearts or make us arrogant in the face of life. We want to be like children who trust fully in their Father's guidance, knowing that you have the best for us, even when the paths seem difficult. May the story of King Asa serve as a constant reminder that our greatest wealth is not in the treasures we gather, but in the depth of our relationship with you, our sustainer. Pour out your blessings upon the health, family, and projects of every person listening to this prayer. May there be healing where there is sickness, but above all, may there be a restoration of faith and hope. May each of us be able to say, with sincerity, that the Lord is our guide, and that in you we place all our expectations of victory. May your light shine on our paths, illuminating the decisions we need to make and protecting us from all evil that tries to distance us from your eternal purpose. Receive, O Father, this prayer of ours, made with love and with the certainty that you hear us and keep us now and forever. Amen. We conclude this biblical study with this message of renewal and hope for your daily journey. Looking at King Asa's path, we realize that life is made of constant steps, and each of them must be guided by a trust that goes far beyond what our eyes can see at the moment. Being a mentor to you today means saying that there is no error at all in seeking human help, in trusting science, or in using the resources that the modern world offers us. The great secret of peace and spiritual success lies in the order of things. God must always be the first door we knock on and the solid foundation of every decision we make, whether small or large. Imagine how different your week would be if, before allowing any physical or financial worry to occupy your mind, you took a moment to ask the Creator which way is best to follow. This is not just an act of devotion, it is an extraordinary life strategy that brings clarity and serenity to the heart. The practical application of this teaching is profound and transformative. Invite the Lord to be your primary partner in every project. When taking care of your health, organizing your household finances, or planning your family's future, place the divine presence in control of everything. Remember that Asa's mistake was not seeking the physicians, but forgetting that they are merely instruments, while God is the source of all healing. May you leave this study feeling encouraged to strengthen your bonds with the Father. He is attentive to your efforts, knows your struggles, and desires to be your constant guide in all life situations. Christian optimism is born from the certainty that we are never alone and that wisdom from above is always available to those who seek it with a sincere heart. May your heart rejoice today with this truth that lights your steps and renews your strength. Move forward with the assurance that dependence on God is your greatest virtue and the source of a joy that the world cannot offer and does not even have the capacity to take away from you in your most challenging moments. Thank you so much for staying with us until the very end. Your presence is a true gift to this channel. If you've made it this far, I'd like to invite you to strengthen our community. Leave an amen in the comments or suggest a verse you'd like to see in our upcoming studies. Seeing your message helps me know that we are walking together in faith. I sincerely thank you for every minute shared, and I look forward to seeing you in our next biblical study as we continue to grow in wisdom. May your week be filled with light, and remember, God is always with you.